Mediocre Morad doesn't know how to be productive. He doesn't know how to sit down and work. Every day he's like, you know what, today I'm gonna do some deep work. However, he gets distracted so easily by his phone, by YouTube, by TikTok, by what he needs to eat. Meanwhile, exceptional Imran has unlocked the secret to being productive. He knows how to do a week's worth of work in 3 hours. Assalamu alaikum, my people. My name's Pablo and I help young Muslim men become productive. Alhamdulillah, over the last 11 months, I've been able to upload every day on various social media platforms. And as a result, I've picked up many life-changing productivity tactics. If you want to level up and become an exceptional Imran, check out my coaching program, link in the description below. Despite the staggering amount of distractions, knowledge work has never been more important. The ability to produce ideas and relay that information is extremely valued in the modern day. And this is amplified if you have credibility and expertise in that particular field. We live in a time of information and attention. And if you're able to combine both, you'll do very well. However, many people don't even know how to work. You see, throughout my life, I was never that guy who knew how to work. I was never that productive guy that would sit down and work for 3-4 hours on end. I would often be that person that would wake up, delay the task, and only do it at the last minute. Whether that was homework, an essay, an assignment, I'd always leave it until the last minute. So for example, I remember during GCSEs, the penny somewhat dropped and I was like, you know what? I need to actually do well because if I don't, I'll fail. However, when I tried to sit down, I'd get distracted by everything. At the time, it was Twitter, YouTube, BBC Sport, anything. Furthermore, I didn't even know how to work. All I'd do was passive activities, like look at the textbook, copy it onto a piece of paper. And so, of course, what would happen in the exam? I'd go there and forget everything because all I did was passive revision. It didn't stick in my mind. During my last year of A-levels, I somewhat became more productive as I learnt certain techniques that were more effective, specifically active revision, where I'd make these flashcards on key bits of information I needed to remember for the exam. However, the issue was the conditions for revising weren't good. I'd wake up late, eat junk food, check my phone, I'd do all the bad habits, and so I'd find it a struggle to sit down and actually revise the flashcards. All they say is, if you don't revise, you won't get an A, and if you don't get an A, you'll fail in life. They never give you productivity tactics like active revision, blurting. They don't say, okay, this is how you concentrate. Don't check your phone, don't eat anything, just sit down and work. Do it early in the morning. They don't say any of this. And so it wasn't until I left uni that I learned how to work and be productive. You see, I began my self-improvement journey in May 2023. And it was all going well. I was doing all the good habits. I was going to the gym consistently. I was eating clean most of the time. I was making progress with my business. However, I hit a rut by mid-August. I was waking up late every day feeling groggy. I was eating junk food most days. I was inconsistent in working out. My business wasn't progressing and also had many arguments with many people. Overall, my life was going in the wrong direction. And so one day in October 2023, I was like, you know what? Something needs to change. I can't keep living like a total mediocre Murad where everything's going in the wrong direction. I was like, this is a recipe for disaster. If I continue like this, I'll go down a bad path. So Alhamdulillah, one day I was like, you know what? Something needs to change. So I decided to dedicate myself to a big goal, and that would be to get to 100k followers on TikTok, where I'd post daily videos on history, politics, and whatever piqued my interest. And soon after I was like, you know what? Let me wake up early and write scripts. And the thing is, I didn't do it because of this whole self-improvement space, but rather I was like, you know what? Let me wake up early and write scripts because I've got a long shift ahead of me. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. Let me firm the lack of sleep and whatnot. However, after this experience, my whole life changed. My life trajectory improved drastically. The amount of work I was able to do in that morning was absurd. It was like never before. It was like, no wonder everyone says wake up in the mornings and do the work. I was like, you know what? I must do this every day. And so from that day onwards, I'd say around 95% of the days, I'd stay up after Fajr and write scripts. So in this video, I'll be giving you a step-by-step guide on how to be productive, on how to sit down and work. If you follow these steps to a T, I can guarantee you will produce good quality work. So before we get into this guide, the first thing you have to do is disable all notifications on your phone. Every single app, from Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, messages, phone calls, everything. And I can hear you already saying, what happens if there's an emergency? Someone calls me for this, someone calls me for that. In reality, that never happens. Tell me how many times in the last year someone's called you for an emergency? Not even once. And the thing is, yeah, you may just continue to cope. What happens if I miss this? What happens if I miss that? But at the end of the day, these are all excuses. These are all a way of coping. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to work, if you don't want to be productive, if you don't want to produce good results, then don't follow this step. Continue allowing all these notifications to steal your focus, attention, and brain power. You have a choice. And the next thing you need to do is make a habit tracker. This can't be on your phone. This can't be on computer. Nothing digitally. It has to be written. Write all the days. So for example, if it's the 1st of October, write 1 to 30. If it's the 3rd of October, then write 3 to 30. Whatever day of the month it is, you write on one column the days. Then the next column is key. You need to write work, study, whatever the case may be. And so this will keep you accountable that every day you're doing that deep work, that you're sitting down and actually producing work. Because the thing is, yeah, the more days you have in a row, the more likely everything will compound. You doing it for 60 days in a row, doing 2 to 4 hours of deep work will get you monumental results. So now that we've got that out of the way, you've disabled notifications, you have a habit tracker, the first step is to plan your day the evening before. We all understand the importance of a good morning routine. If you win the morning, you'll win the day and whatnot. However, having an evening routine is just as vital to your success. So for example, my evening routine is I'll stop at Maghrib time. So right now it's around 7:20 in the UK. So I shut down my phone, do no work, write my plan for the day, and then read until it's time for Isha. So the first thing you do is specify what you're going to work on and at what time. Because you can say tomorrow I need to write 2 YouTube scripts. However, if you haven't specified anything, you're just making it harder for your future self. He's going to have this mental battle where he's like, you know what, should I do it now? Should I do it later? Should I write on this topic or that topic? Like, you confuse him. So the key is to write exactly what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. Yesterday evening, I wrote, alright, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m, step-by-step guide on how to work. So I know all I have to do is show up and do the work. I don't need to make all these decisions. Alright, should I do this script or that script? Should I do at 7 a.m, 8 a.m, 6 a.m? So you need to plan exactly what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. So for example, revise for paper 2, section A, on biology. Or it could be editing 4 TikTok scripts between 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Whatever the case may be, whatever your goals are, you need to specify it. So the next step, and we're still in the evening at this point, is set up everything. Set up your desk, your laptop, everything that you may need the following day. So in this way, I don't need to get my computer, open it up, switch it on, go to Google Docs, wait, then put the title page. Everything is prepared the evening before. Another key step is that you need to get this. You need to get your water bottle prepared for the following day. Because of course, when you wake up, you're going to be thirsty. You may not drink in the first 10, 15, or even 20 minutes, but eventually you want to drink water, right? However, if you don't have it prepared, you're doing work first thing in the morning, you're going to be so thirsty, you'll be like, you know what, F this. I want to get a water bottle. I need to go to the kitchen. And so then you interrupt your flow just to get some water. So the reason why I'm telling you all this preparation is to preserve your brain power. You see, the thing is, yeah, we have a limited amount of cerebral power in a day. And the thing is, yeah, a lot of people squander this by making too many decisions. Because imagine you wake up, you don't know what to work on. You're thirsty. Your laptop isn't set up. You're going to waste a lot of cerebral power thinking, all right, should I do this task? Should I do that task? Should I get water now? Should I get water later? Should I get coffee now? Should I get coffee later? Because you only have a certain amount of mental energy in a day. And so you need to do the best to preserve it. Because even though these things seem small, they add up and they take away from your brain power, which could be used on that deep work. And so therefore, you making all these decisions will just make you less productive and less efficient. So before you go to sleep, set your alarm for Fajr. Put it on airplane mode and put it on the other side of the room so that when you wake up, yeah, it's not next to you, you don't hit the snooze and go back to sleep. So once it's Fajr time, your alarm's going off, get out of bed, turn it off. Don't check it, don't see no notifications, don't go on any apps, Don't do anything at all. The reason why it's imperative that you do this is that you want to be mentally fasted. You don't want to go on your phone, check this social media app, get this message, that call, and spike your dopamine levels. And furthermore, you don't want to reduce your brain power, which is a limited cerebral asset. Because you may think, I only scrolled for 1 minute, but that 1 minute is extremely detrimental. Because the information overload that your brain experiences in that 1 minute is monumental. Is absurd. Because the thing is here, you may physically not be on your phone anymore, but your brain is still processing that 10 or 20 minutes afterwards. Furthermore, when you whip out your phone once and check that message, or go on that social media app, somewhere in your brain you want to do it again and again and again. It's very addictive. Furthermore, the more you check it, the more you reduce your brain power. And so the best way to mitigate this potential issue is to turn off your alarm and don't check your phone. Go to the bathroom, make wudu. So after you've prayed sunnah, fard, done dhikr, maybe made dua, go to your desk and immediately work. You don't want to eat any type of carbs because you know you'll get that glucose spike. And then afterwards it will drop and you'll feel tired and you'll have brain fog and it'll be so difficult to work. Think about how many times you've ate something and you tried to do work, but you simply couldn't. It was a mission to sit down and concentrate. And this last step is simple. All you have to do is do the work that you told yourself you're going to do the evening before. At first it's going to be very difficult because your brain is not used to this level of intensity. Your brain is not used to this level of concentration. The reason why it's going to be difficult is because you haven't created the neutral pathways for that habit. So basically, in other words, you're not used to sitting down and working for an hour straight with no break. However, as usual, the more you do something, the better you'll become. I can literally prove this to you. So the first time I ever done this, the first time I ever sat down after Fajr and done work, it was a mission. It was impossible. I was getting distracted by this, by that. Even though I'd done a lot of work, it was very taxing. I'd be looking out the window, I'd be getting up every 5-10 minutes, but I was still doing work. However, over time, I got better and better to the extent that I can sit down for an hour and do work with no distractions. I don't go on Google, ask this stupid question. The only questions I'll ask Google is for something related to the topic or ChatGPT. So for example, I used to do 2 hours worth of work and think, alright, I'm burnt out, I can't do anything more. Nowadays, I can do 3 or 4 hours. It's basically like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger and better it'll become. And this is the step-by-step guide on how to work. All you have to do is prepare the night before. Put your phone on airplane mode. Set up your alarm. Set up your desk. Put that water bottle. Open up the Google documents or whatever the case may be. Then after that, it's simple. Wake up for Fajr and do work. Don't check your phone. Don't eat anything. Don't do anything at all except working. And I promise you, if you do this for the next 30 days, your life will change forever. Remember, productivity is the path to your dream life.